What's up, folks? This is the last video I'm gonna do with this Lincoln MKX, but you can see now it looks nice and clean in the back. The interior is nice and clean because the detailer did his job and went and detailed it. So the last thing I have to do with this vehicle is replace the switch. I would put one in there already, but unfortunately it worked and then it stopped working. So I had to go to the salvage yard where I found this one vehicle, and unfortunately, the switch for the trunk I already pulled out. There's another one that's in the front here, right here. They look identical, but they're incompatible. The connector don't bolt up the same, and the orientation of where they lock in isn't the same either. So I'm gonna have to swap these out. Take the inside and swap that out. Sorry, I had a phone call, but the way these are positioned are different. Where the lot of the guide here on the side is in a different location. It actually sits lower. So where these switches will look the same, identical, they're just similar. But the inside is the same. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the core out and swap this out into the housing of the one that I got from the salvage yard, from the donor vehicle, and everything should work fine. I'm not sure why this switch just failed out of nowhere, but maybe they have a high failure rate. But I know for the fact the one inside isn't exposed to any potential elements, and it's in a safe haven right at the instrument bezel around that way. So we should be fine. It worked. I was able to break the ends off and slide it in there, and it does work like it's supposed to. But before we do anything else, I'm just going to show you the interior. Like I say, everything looks a lot better. It was a lot worse before. I mean, he did a good job cleaning this vehicle. There's the passenger side. Here's the exterior. Seats, everything is in way better shape. There's a couple blemishes there on the seat, but other than that, you saw how bad it was. It's 98.8% better. So let me get the camera set up and then we'll swap these out. One more thing before I do. If you're concerned about the driving, if there's any codes present, it isn't. It's actually ready for inspection here where I am, and it'll pass successfully. There's no pending codes, and I got about 70 miles driven on it, so we're fine. Computers totally satisfied. Catalytic converters are satisfied. The only thing that hasn't went through was the evap system, which is a little concerning because that charcoal canister likely got submerged in water. But we'll see what happens with that. Let's get this camera set up. This liftgate button utilizes only 2 wires. Very simple. It's a ground side switch, so it takes the ground and goes to the control side, and when it sees that ground signal, it acknowledges we need to close up. So I'd imagine if this was closed, not knowing if you come back here and push that button, will it open? I don't know. But for the state that it's saying right now of open, if you jump these 2 wires, it'll close. But I'm not going to jump them. I'm going to use a test light after we verify that we have what would be a power and ground. All right, the power is just the bias voltage for the control side, and it's just very simple. Take a test meter, put it on voltage. You just pierce the 2 of them in the back. We'll back probe them. And we have 13 volts. We have battery voltage. Now I got them reversed, so the ground is going to be this black and gray wire, and the control is going to be the blue and will look like gray. So what needs to happen, I'm going to take a test light and go to the blue and gray wire. When I probe this, you should hear that audible sound, and it should want to close. Yeah, there it goes. It did it, but stopped. I don't want it to close, but you All right, there you go. Let me shut the fuck up. All right. So I wanted to close. So this is a recipe for a working system. So we know we have the good circuit integrity. We just now need to get the switch back working. And mind you, they wind up discontinuing this, so they don't make it anymore. So this is why I'm having to go through this. Otherwise, I'll have to put some sort of aftermarket button and rig it up, and I'm not going to do that. So let's pop this cover off. So there's 2 ears inside of there, one right there and one down to the right. Let me get a pointy thingy right there. I'm gonna pull those tabs back, and right there, just push them back, and this circuit board should just fall out. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take this just as I disassembled it with the other one. Match the pins and pop it in the housing. Just push it in like so, and it fits like normal. So it's sitting nice and flush. Pull my tabs back up, so the tabs are pulled up. It's locked in place. And I'm going to take this cover and install it. Oh yeah. There we go. Alright, let's put it back in here and then see if it works. Yep. There we go. So we're working. Cool. So that's the orientation I was talking about, where it's going to be different, where the other one's not going to fit and the plug don't even fit. Cool. So it's working. I don't want to close it. Cool. Hey, look, that's it, man. I'm done with this truck. Hopefully we all learned something. If anything happened and it got to come back, I'll let you know. But hit that link, subscribe channel, stay informed, how to work on my work. See you on the next one.